Hi, Bianca. Thank you
Hi,
very
Sunny.
much for doing this interview with me. I'm very glad you could make it. And yeah, I'm Sunny. I'm actually a student in NHTV, and I'm going to interview you. For what I looked up, you're an Andorran expert in tourism, and I really would like to interview you about how is your work related to leisure. Can you first explain me what your work is about?
Yes, of course. My company is called My World of Experiences. We are an incoming agent or DMC, Destination Management Company. So we promote the destination Andorra in this case. That's in the heart of the Pyrenees between Spain and France. And we also sell uh, experiences in Spain and France, the neighbor countries, because Andorra is very small. So we combine that with each other. And of course, Andorra has the best of both, we always say. So it has a little bit of the French culture, a little bit of the Spanish culture, and then their own history and own culture as well. And then we try to combine all those beautiful things to nice packages for the clients that want to visit us.
Really interesting. I consider that your work is really related to leisure. Could you explain me that relation a little bit?
Yes, of course. I mean, tourism and leisure, of course, they are very, very related. I mean, when people come here, they really choose to come here. So they take their holidays to be able to learn and enjoy different experiences. So we brand them that. And then also we do events. So, for example, next year in 2018, we organize a Congress of Tourism Professionals. It's called SCOL Congress, and we do the Spanish chapter. And what we also did is, for example, we hosted the Carbage Run finish once. That was very, very nice. About 800 Dutch people that came with pimped cars. And then we organized their finish location, and we make sure that they have a great time. And what we also do is, for example, next year again, every 2 year, we organize the Goldwing concentration. That's a motorcycle concentration of beautiful big motorbikes. And those events, of course, are 100% leisure. Not 100%, I must say, because I have to come back now on my own words. Because when you see, for example, the Skull Congress, it will be leisure and business. So we'll be doing also networking, and we will also have professional working sessions. So, like a part of the Congress is leisure, and a part of the Congress is business.
So your work is really extensive and involves a lot of events, leisure, and that kind of stuff. But how did you manage? What's your background education? How did you become an expert in that sector?
Oei, that's a long story, Sunny. First, I did in Holland, and I did basic school, so MAVO, HAVO. Then after that, I did 1 year of public relations and marketing. That helped me a lot also in my way to tourism business. And I did 1 year of inter college in The Hague. And after that, then I went to work in Spain. I worked as an entertainer. Then afterwards, I also worked as a public relations manager, and then I worked for several companies as tour guide, and like Neckerman, like Ultramar Express, and then in the end, I worked for Viajes Barceló. Then for Viajes Barceló, I was promoting Catalonia, so Costa Brava, Costa Dorada, and Barcelona, already on the Dutch, German, Russian, yeah, Europe and out of Europe market. And then from Viajes Barceló, they sent me up to Andorra because they wanted to open an office there. So I opened the first office in Andorra. Then after that, I was 1 year freelance contracting manager for Dutch tour operators. After that, I've been a commercial director for an hotel chain. And from that hotel chain, I did then 1 year of radio and television in Andorra. And then I came back to travel again. And then I started my own business. First, the business was called Original Andorra. And then after a few years, due to some problems with one of our partners, we changed our name to My World of Experiences.
Right. You said that you opened the first company. First company of what? Tourism?
The tourism company that we opened for ourselves, so when I started for myself, that was called Original Andorra.
Okay. And the first company you opened here in Andorra for another company?
That was the first office that I opened in Andorra for at that time Viajes Barceló. And Viajes Barceló is a very big Spanish tour operator, now called also Hotel Beds. And they opened their first office here. So I was the first office manager.
Nice. Can you explain me a little bit? Because I looked up your background and I saw that you were on TV and you also did many speeches about tourism. Can you explain me a little bit how did you manage to get that famous in your sector?
I really cannot explain. I think it's a lot of networking, and in the end you get every time more contacts, and when you get a lot of contacts, then those people call you for interviews. And then also, for example, when you do events, then normally the press comes to see you and they want to make an interview with you as well, and then you come on radio, television, and in the newspapers. That's a normal sequence.
And I also looked up that you are part of a really big international company of tourism. Can you explain me a little bit more about that?
You mean association?
Yeah,
Because that is
association.
the Association of Tourism Professionals, and that's called SCOL. And SCOL is started from the Scandinavian countries. That was one group of friends that went to Paris, and then they thought of how they can make a club of tourism so that they can make networking easier between all tourism professionals. And they started, as I said, as a small group of friends. And in the end, they really got the networking going. And SCOL at the moment, I believe there's about 20,000 tourism professionals that are a member of this tourism organization from all over the world. So it's really, really nice and really, really interesting. Yes, and I'm part of that. And also during 1 year, I was the SCOL president of Andorra.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your function as a president in SCOL?
That year, I was really representing the SCOL Association, but the part of Andorra. Of course, we are a small country, but we are a small country with a lot of SCOL members, because we have about 80 members, and normally the SCOL countries don't have so much members. So if you look at per inhabitant, we are really an important SCOL club. And the year I was president, I tried to do the best I could to promote our SCOL club and to promote our destination again. But then in this case, not for myself, not for my own business, but for SCOL.
Okay. And how about your business outside the walls of Andorra? What is your job outside like in the outside countries in Europe, or your influence?
No, when I go to the other countries, I go to promote the destination. So, for example, my job is really to sell Andorra, to sell hotel beds, to also sell how do you say that, the complete travel package. So also with transport, with guiding service, with everything what you would need on the spot to have a beautiful holiday. So I go then, normally we do B2B, so we do business to business. So we go and see tour operators, agencies, and also group specialists to talk with them, to explain everything we can offer for them. And then we make them a complete package. We send it to them. It's already, it's like ready for brochure or ready for website. And then we also send them the images, and we make everything perfectly so that they can really use it immediately. And what they have to do is to send us their clients. And then, of course, what we do then again, when their clients come, we do then the hosting. So when they come, we receive them in their names, and then we make sure that they have the most beautiful holiday.
Nice. Returning to your company, could you explain me step by step how you create that company?
In this case, it was I was working at that time for after 8 years of being the commercial director of an hotel chain here in Andorra. I was 1 year working, almost 1 year working at radio and television. But really, I noticed that at first I thought I wanted to go out of the tourism because I was a little bit tired, I thought. But when I went away from tourism, everybody already predicted that I would be back very, very soon. And I myself said, no, no, no way. I want to do something else. And when I was at radio and television, then I noticed that really I could not live without tourism. It's in my heart, it's in my veins, it's everywhere. So when I was speaking to people, every time tourism came back again. So in the end, I noticed that I had to come back, but I didn't want to work for somebody else anymore. I wanted to do it for myself, but I was a little bit afraid. So then your daddy pushed me, and he told me that he had partners that would want to invest in our company if I would have the guts to start the company on my own. And then they would be my partners, but they would be silent partners. So they would not mix in the day-to-day business, but they would invest in our business, and then I could manage it. And they really, like I was on a jumping brett, like for example, if you want to jump in a swimming pool, and they pushed me off. So then I started swimming, and in the beginning, what was very difficult, but I like it. I love it really. So then in the end, it went every time easier, and now a lot of our clients recommend me to other clients. So now it goes by itself.
Uh, what would be your target group? What kind of people do you bring to Andorra?
At this moment, we're still focused on low season periods. That started a little bit when I was in the hotel chain, because of course the hotels here in the winter, in the high season, they fill by themselves. So they really need the business in the low season periods, because high season summer and high season winter are easy to fill. So I dedicated to that part, and I became a specialist on that part. That means that we're mostly dealing with senior groups, because they have time and they're not bound to holiday periods. And that's why, we are mostly doing, say, 50, 60 plus. But we really do everything, because we also have, like I said before, those events. We also do business travel. We also have youth travel. So we do a little bit of everything. We also do skiing. We also do the summer holidays. We do walking tours. So we really are very all round. But still, we have a very, very good name, of course, on the low season periods.
Okay. About the seniors, did you notice any characteristics like how do they feel about leisure?
Oh, they love leisure. And what I must say, that they have time for leisure. So that's the good thing. They really come to enjoy. And that's what we want to give them, what they want. So we want to make them have a good time. So it's not only about learning and about learning something about a destination that you did not know before, but above all is the enjoyment. I mean, we want to make them feel good, and we want them to be like ambassadors. When they go from here, they have to be like Andorra ambassadors, so that they really, from themselves, without that anybody asks them, already explain about Andorra, because they're so full of it, they're so full of their experience, that they want to share it with other people, and that's what we aim at.
Okay. Could you tell me any characteristics that differentiate that target group, that elderly people, from other target groups?
Yes, maybe for example, it's also a little bit about the market, Sunny. For example, you have it's first it's a target group of age, But then you have the target groups of different markets, because if you're talking about Dutch people or German people, you also have a difference over there. But first, you asked me about the target group of age. If you see, for example, when we have a youth group, we had, for example, last year some youth groups, then they asking mostly for a little bit more active holiday. So they want to do maybe some rafting, they want to go climbing, they want to do some via ferrata, or like a little bit of active sports together with, also they want to have sightseeing like the seniors. But the seniors, maybe they like a walk, but they don't want to go high up the mountain. They just want a little bit more easy walk, mostly, yeah? Because of course there are very, very active seniors nowadays. I mean, sometimes you have people from 70 that really walk very, very well, and they want to go high in the mountains. So it's difficult to say, because before we had really like seniors and youth, and now you have youthful seniors that really feel young and act young, and sometimes the young people can't cope with them. I mean, then the 70 plus is already in the mountains, and the young people are still behind.
Okay.
So it's not always age.
Yeah. What I like it a lot is you talked about market. Do your enterprise has analyzed market, economy, and that kind of stuff to get to the point you are right now?
Markets, yes, because of course we had to see which markets are interesting for us. That's also a little bit one of our choices was, for example, to not really go on the French market, because in Andorra everybody already dedicates to the French market, and not to the Spanish market, because everybody's already on the Spanish market. So what we do is we go to the North European market, and we try to be a little bit different there. In the beginning we were very, very different, but now that people see that, of course, those markets have a lot of potential, now we're not alone anymore. So other people follow our footsteps. That's normal. That happens. But and we also followed the footstep of others. So I mean, it's not that we invented the wheel, but we also followed footsteps of other people, and now other people are following our footsteps. So yes, but we had a look at markets, and we're still looking at markets. For example, at this moment, we're trying to go also a little bit more on the Scandinavian market, because we like them very much. One of our number one clients is from Sweden, and we really like their style, their way of working, and they're, for example, offering walking tours, and we would like to be a little bit stronger there. So that's things that we look at.
Okay. And the last one. Do you have any tips for me if I want to be a leisure expert for a business?
A leisure expert for?
In business, in leisure business.
In business.
Yep.
It depends a little bit of what you aim at, Sunny, because if, for example, you aim at doing the same like what we're doing at the moment, then you have an easy thing. You don't need so much tips, because you can just continue. But if you would like to do something totally different, or you would like to do a little bit more on events and concerts and things like that you were talking before, then there are different possibilities. For example, what I like very much and what could be of interest to you is, for example, when I was talking to the organizer of the Carbage Run, I asked him how he got to his business, because he's organizing about, say, 5-6 events per year, and the rest of the year he is or preparing or on holidays. So I liked very much his way of doing. And he was explaining me that he just went on one rally in England, in the UK. He liked it very much. He just copied the model. So he didn't think of it himself, but he just copied it, and he made a really, really successful Carbage Run. And from that, other rallies came, so like a Rumble Rally and other rallies. And now they also have like the Danish chapter, and they do, I believe, a German chapter. So he's growing and growing, and he has now made his own business out of it. And that could also be a tip, Sunny. But the important thing is networking, to have a lot of contacts and to open your eyes. Always open your eyes and look for the opportunities. So don't let your opportunities escape, because during your life, a lot of opportunities will come by. Sometimes they will just pass and you won't see them. And if you open your eyes and you're very alert, then you will detect those opportunities, and then you just try. And maybe sometimes you fall, you come up again, you stand up again, and you go further. And then you learn, and then you see also what you like most. Because, for example, I love to organize events, like that we have 3 events per year, but at this moment. But I also love the normal leisure market, so where we can give the people the best holiday ever. So that's my wish, but I don't know exactly what your wish is in the leisure industry. But I think making contact, so networking and opening your eyes, have your eyes open for opportunities. I think those are the 2 main tips that I want to give you. And then when you go for something that you really, really like, then I have another tip for you that is also a tip for myself, because it's very, very difficult. Focus.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. The interview is done. Thank you for your time.
Okay, you're
Goodbye.
welcome. Okay, bye.